We're going to look at how to set up LODs in your game. We're going to look at how to do this for trees specifically. LOD stands for level of detail and basically means the further you are from an object, the less fine details you can actually see. This is more of a beginner tutorial and it's the most basic way of creating LOD groups. First, we're going to make some trees in Blender. I'm not going to create anything by hand because we have a very nice add-on. It's called Sapling Tree Gen. So if you go into Edit, Preferences, and search for Sapling, we're going to see the add-on. We're going to check the box next to it. And then now let's go into our scene. Let's delete everything here by selecting everything using the A key and then pressing the X key and then selecting the delete option. Then let's press the space bar and then type in sapling, and you should see the option to create a tree up here at the top, and selecting it should create the tree. Now you can play around with the settings until you see something you like, but I found that the best results, the optimum results, I think is the better way to put it. You get the best results if the number of leaves are below 200, and the branch split settings are as follows. Uh, like like don't go overboard. Like 15 branches at each level uh, is the limit at how much Unity can handle. I'm gonna check this show leaves box right here. Now I have something I like, so I'm gonna convert the tree into a mesh. To do this, in object mode, first select the tree and then convert, and then to mesh. We're gonna do the same with the leaves as well. Now we have the full resolution tree. This is what you see when you're very close to the tree. And so for each successive level of detail, we're gonna want to see lesser details. I'm gonna create the last level of detail first. To do this, I'm gonna select just the leaves, duplicate them a few times using Control D, and to create the last level of modifier, I'm gonna go into this last set of leaves here and apply the remesh modifier. I'm gonna select voxel in the modifier panel, and I'm gonna shade smooth. And this now we get a blob. This blob is what we're gonna see when we're really far away from the tree. We don't need like individual leaves at that point. Mm, now, now between this blob and the full resolution tree, we need levels of detail to fill up the gaps for each step. So the way we create a level of detail is by removing the number of faces, removing finer details from the full resolution image. So to do this, in our case explicitly, since we're working with trees, we can simply reduce the number of leaves that we have to display. So I'm gonna go into each of these group of leaves and then select all of them and go into edit mode, go into mesh, go into cleanup, and use decimate mesh, decimate geometry, I think, and yeah, and then decimate geometry. So I'm gonna create two levels of detail for the purpose of this video. One with the ratio set to 0.2 and one with the ratio set to 0.35. So after doing this, you may notice a lot of loose edges, edges that are not connected to anything. So we need to get rid of these two. So the way we do it is, again, we go into edit mode. We're going to select all of the vertices by selecting by using the A key, and then we go into mesh, clean up, and then delete loose. Get Once we do that, all of the loose edges get deleted. So we're going to do this for the other tree group as well. And once all of this is done, we're going to move all the groups of leaves to the origin point. We're going to select that 0, select that, go there 0 and 0. Now we have I'm going to unhide the trunk, and now we have this tree that has a highly dense level of detail, a slightly less dense level of detail, a very less dense level of detail, and then we have a blob. And then so each of these is a level of detail. Now we're going to export this as an FBX. So file export. Before we export this as an FBX, I'm going to rename each of the tree group of leaves to something like LOD1, LOD2, so that I know what I'm working with. And then once I do that, I'm just gonna simply export. And now and with this tree, we can jump into Unity. So once we're in Unity, we're gonna bring the tree into the scene. We are going to use Unity's built-in LOD group component because it works quite well for our needs. Now we're gonna create an empty game object, reset the transform, then we're gonna make the tree the child of that empty game object. If everything went correctly with no issues, your tree trunk should be the parent, and the leaves that you created should be the child of the tree trunk. Uh, so in the LOD group component, you can see this slider bar. You can drag these bits around. I'm going to set the transition to crossfade and animate transition to true. So you can drag. So this bar basically means at what distance, which level of detail we have to display. So you can see that as I drag the bar around, the camera moves forwards and backwards, towards and away from the tree. So we can click on each of those colored segments on the bar, and we're gonna click on them. Let me adjust this up a little bit. I think this is pretty reasonable. So what basically the bar indicates is that the green portion is the nearest, and then comes the blue bit, and then comes the culling bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the green portion first, and then we're going to add the full resolution leaves. This will be LOD level 1. And then we're going to click on the blue one and add LOD level 2. And then we're going to add LOD level 3. So now once everything is set up, I can move forwards and backwards in the edit view, and you can see that we fade in between each levels of detail. I don't think it's really that clear, but we can see that it's fading between these two levels of detail. Um, I think I might have to bring it a bit more close. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this a little closer so that we can see what's happening. So now we're a lot closer, and we can clearly see that we are transitioning between different levels of detail. So I have a material for for the leaves in the park. This project is running HDRP. So in the standard material, we have a translucent material. So the material is also double-sided, so that there is no backface culling. Um, so I'm going to apply that material to the leaves, all of the leaves, and I'm also going to apply the bark material to the trunk. And I think the green makes it a bit more obvious when it transitions between the different states. And now we have some LOD trees.